Alrighty guys, so I'm having to work a bunch right at the moment, so forgive me for the background. I'm doing this on my lunch break at work when I'm out walking on the hallway, so this is a hallway. So anyways, so final results for the portfolio diet. Super exciting. So we're going to start out with some of the basics, and then we'll do the effectiveness of this at the end because it's the one where I want to show you the results from my previous cholesterol test to my current cholesterol test. So let's begin with quantity. Quantity, actually, this one I gave 5 stars because this was very, very easy in terms of the amount that you could eat because there was never anything that was off limit. So I just had to make sure that I was getting enough soluble fiber and enough soy protein. To be honest with you, it actually was a little bit difficult to get the amount of food that I needed in the day in me. So yeah, quantity was no problem whatsoever at all to get enough to eat. I can't say anything else about quantity because I ate plenty. I was never hungry. So let's move on to quality. So the quality of the diet, in this case, I actually gave this 4.5 stars. And the only reason that I took off half a star, I would have given it 5 stars, but quality, one of the things that you had to have a lot of was the soy protein. And in order to do that, I had to have the soy protein powder in order to get enough soy protein in my diet. So I actually really didn't enjoy that overly much. There were this final soy protein that I found. I've had 3 different soy proteins now. This final one that I found actually worked out fine, and I like the flavor of it. It's still really, really thick if you don't get enough liquid in it, but the flavor was fine. So I'll try. I'm not going to be able to get a picture of that for you. I don't remember which one it is that I bought, to be honest with you. Anyways, the soy protein that I have now, I don't mind it at all. So quality, yeah, if I hadn't had to have the soy protein, I would have said totally a 5 star all the way because it would have been really super easy. I enjoyed everything else, but I didn't really care for that soy protein so very much. So ease of the diet, was this something that was easy to do? So I actually ended up giving this 4 stars. I couldn't give it 5 stars because it was difficult for me in the middle. You guys saw and heard from me about the whole having to make smoothies and trying to make something that had enough soluble fiber in it and maybe some soy protein and easiness, having to make sure I was counting stuff. I'm not a real big fan of counting things, but at the same time, you know, you get 1 cup of beans and you get 1 cup of soy type of thing, and between the 2 of those and drinks, you get pretty much everything you need in the diet. So it really wasn't that bad, but there were some times when I found it a little bit difficult to make sure that I was getting enough of everything that I needed in the diet, and that's partially my fault because the diet specifically says for soluble protein or soluble fiber, you need to have between 10 and 25 grams. Well, I aimed for 25 each time. Okay guys, I'm sorry about that. I got interrupted in the middle. The cleaning people came through and a nurse came through and just stopped. I don't actually remember where I was. So we were talking about the ease of the diet and I gave it 4 stars, and basically what I was saying is that getting the shakes in me was a little bit challenging in the middle because I didn't really care for some of the flavors of them, and it was so thick from that stupid soy protein. It was so thick that I really wasn't enjoying that. So that made it a little bit difficult. Otherwise it was really, really easy. Sustainability. So I gave this 3.5 stars. So basically what I said, okay, this is completely not sustainable, this is completely sustainable. It's probably right in the middle, but maybe a little bit more towards sustainable than not. So I don't think it's hard to get beans in you in a day. I don't think it's hard to get some soy in you in a day. So the plant sterols and the psyllium are pretty easy. Most people don't dislike nuts as much as I do, so that really wouldn't be that difficult for some people. But yeah, I don't think I could do this all the time, especially not seeing as my weight hasn't changed at all. Like actually it goes between 170 and 173 back and forth all the time. And on this plan, it's staying exactly right there. So I'm not gaining any weight, certainly not losing any weight. So as far as sustainability, I'm not really what I feel like at my healthiest body weight at this point. I really think that I should probably be less than where I'm at. And following this plan obviously wouldn't get me any closer to losing any weight. So sustainability long term, I really don't think that this is the exact way that I need to eat for longevity of weight. But for my cholesterol, that's another story. So could you do it? Sure. It's just, I don't know that certainly not with the soy protein powders. I don't want to have to do that all the time, especially when it costs as much as it does for the soy protein powder. So I'm not really interested in that. So somebody who is a little bit more, maybe a little bit more adventurous with their drinks and was willing to try a whole bunch more different types of smoothies and that kind of thing. I guess maybe I'm just kind of plain when it comes to that type of stuff. I don't really enjoy a whole variety of those. So I don't really find this overly sustainable for me. I do not want to have to eat nuts every single day. However, I think that is probably part of what's super, super healthy for you. So I did email Dr. Jenkins and asked him a few questions about the Portfolio diet to see if he has done any further research about, hey, do you have to have 50 grams of soy protein? What if you had only 20? Have you looked at doing this without the nuts? Have you done anything else with this to change it and tried it on one of your trials? I did not hear back from him, and I don't know that I will. So if I do hear back from him, I will definitely do an update video and put it after this video on the Portfolio diet. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'll hear back from him or not. But okay, effectiveness. Totally 5 stars. Like totally 5 stars. So here is the picture of my cholesterol panel 25 or I don't remember exactly, 25 or 26 days before I had it checked for the second time. And as you can see, my total cholesterol was 218, which has increased every year since becoming vegan. And my LDL cholesterol was 149. Okay. My triglycerides, my HDL, not a concern. They're both fine. They're currently both fine. Okay, so that's what that was. Pretty bad, not exciting. Take a look at this. Yeah, look at that. So my total cholesterol went from 218 down to 164. And my, the bad cholesterol, my LDL cholesterol went from 149 down to 100. That's a 30% decrease in my bad cholesterol. It's almost within the normal range. Normal is supposed to be 0 to 99 and mine's at 100. So who knows, if I did the diet for another 2 weeks, would it come down a little bit more? I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But is this effective for lowering your cholesterol without taking a drug? Yeah. And it's just about as effective as it is to take one of the statins. A lot of them are between the 15 and 60% range in terms of lowering your cholesterol. So it's right there without any side effects whatsoever. The only caveat for that for a side effect would be if you took the psyllium and you didn't take enough water with it, it might cause some constipation, and that wouldn't be good. But otherwise, there's no side effects. It didn't cause any weight gain. So yeah, perfectly healthy diet, and it didn't have to do anything else to make my cholesterol go down. How cool is that? Pretty neat. So overall, I gave it about 4.5 stars. It's actually 88%, which is not quite 4.5 stars, but pretty darn close. So anyways, you could eat as much as you want. The quality of the food was good. It really wasn't that hard with the exception of the protein powders and figuring out how to try to get that in me every day. Otherwise, the food was easy. Is it sustainable? I don't know. For some people, maybe yes. For me, not really. I really didn't enjoy the soy protein powders. Today, I had a glass of milk and orange juice with 2 scoops of the soy protein, so about 15 grams. Is that right? No, 3 scoops. So about 15 grams, right around in that range of soy protein. And yeah, it was fine. It was no problem at all. It wasn't too thick. I enjoyed the flavor. It was great. It was no problem. So if I could do half the amount of soy protein in a day, I could do that pretty easy. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I kind of think that this is something that if you have high cholesterol and you want to try dietary, try this. I was kind of thinking long term. So if you do this and then say 6 months from now and then you stop and you just include some of it, like you do the plant sterols and you do the psyllium. Okay, so you get the soluble fiber that you need and you do the plant sterols that you need. Okay, so you check it in 6 months. What if it went up a tiny bit? So do this diet for 2 weeks, get it back down where you want it to, and then go back to eating, you know, a healthy diet, because there's very little about a vegan diet that isn't healthy. Yes, you could have a lot of plant fats in your diet if you choose to, and that's not necessarily maybe the best thing for you to have a ton of that. But, you know, eating vegetables and starches, there's just nothing wrong with that. So I'm not really sure exactly where I'm going from here, to be honest with you, in terms of what I'm going to continue and what I'm not. I can tell you for sure, I intend to continue with the psyllium twice a day, and I intend to continue with the plant sterols twice a day, as well as the amla and the turmeric and the black pepper. That part just goes in with the rest of it, so that's pretty easy. So that's my goal. 2 thumbs up for this one, guys. Like, for real. If you're worried about your LDL cholesterol, your doctor's telling you, hey, you need to do something, and you're willing to make a change in your diet, give it a try. Wow, I was really, really pleased. I really didn't expect, I expected to see a little bit of difference, to be honest with you. I really did expect to see it come down a little bit, but I was thinking it'd be like 130, you know, like maybe 15, 20 points down, but almost 50 points, 49 points decrease on the bad cholesterol. That's pretty awesome. So anyway, guys, that's it for me for this diet, and I will talk to you when I come up with whatever my next plan is, which I have no idea. Take care, guys.